Welcome back to the Shigiki podcast, where age becomes wisdom and food becomes healing. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and today we're diving into something I hear almost every week from patients over 60. It starts with a sentence like this: "My hands feel numb in the morning, like pins and needles." Or, "My legs get weak halfway through a short walk." For some, it's a quiet nuisance. For others, it's terrifying, especially when they fear it might mean a stroke or worse, early signs of dementia. But more often than not, it's something else entirely. It's the silent breakdown of one of the most important networks in your body, your nerves, and the collagen-rich structures that support them. I want to share a story. A woman named Grace, 68 years old, came to see me a few months ago. She was sharp, lively, full of humor, but her eyes were tired. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like my body is short-circuiting. My hands tingle. My knees shake. I drop things more often. I trip when I walk too fast. My labs are normal. My brain scan is fine. But I don't feel right." She wasn't imagining it, and what we found was simple and tragic. Her collagen levels were severely depleted, her nutrient status poor, and her diet nearly void of the key building blocks for the nerve's connective tissue and small blood vessels that nourish her arms and legs. That day, we didn't prescribe a drug. We prescribed a bowl of fruit. Because what most people don't realize is this collagen isn't just for your skin or your joints. It's essential for your nerves. And when you lose collagen, which naturally happens after 60, your nervous system becomes vulnerable. Tingling hands, burning feet, weak legs, delayed reflexes. These are not random, they are signals. But here's the good news. Your body can make collagen again. And one of the best places to start isn't with powders or pills. It's with fruit. Yes, 8 simple fruits that are rich in vitamin C, polyphenols, and enzymes that boost your body's natural collagen production, calm inflammation, and support healthy circulation to your limbs. And I'm not alone in this. Joining me today is the man whose name graces this podcast, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a neurologist, a teacher, and someone who even after turning 100 continues to remind us that aging is not decline, it's adjustment, it's intention.
Thank you, Dr. Hyman. And thank you to everyone listening today, especially those of you who are quietly suffering from what I call invisible discomfort. The tingling in the hands, the weakness in the legs, the strange sense that your body is no longer listening to you. These are not just symptoms. They are stories your nervous system trying to speak. And the first thing I want you to know is this: you are not broken. You are undernourished. In my years working with elders in Japan, I learned something simple and profound. As collagen fades, the body does not just wrinkle, it unravels. The nerves lose their cushion. The muscles lose their support. The small vessels shrink. And what comes next is imbalance, weakness, fear. But when we bring the right nutrients, especially from nature, the body begins to remember. It begins to repair. We used to serve elders in our clinics a bowl of warm miso and a plate of soft seasonal fruit, not for dessert, but for therapy, because food, when chosen with wisdom and timing, can rebuild what age tries to steal. So today we will share with you 8 fruits that don't just taste good, they restore. They give your hands strength again. They let your legs move freely. They nourish not only your collagen, but your confidence.
I love that, doctor, because confidence is the first thing to go when your body starts to feel unreliable. But with the right foods and the right rhythm, we can rebuild not just tissue, but trust in your body again. So, stay with us. In the next section, we'll explore why collagen loss causes so much more than wrinkles, and why the answer is growing quietly in your fruit bowl. Let's begin. When most people think of collagen, they think of skin. They think of wrinkles, elasticity, maybe joints or bones. But very few people know this collagen is the scaffolding of your nervous system. Imagine your nerves like delicate electrical wires. Now imagine those wires being wrapped in soft, protective tubing made of connective tissue blood vessels and a flexible cushion. That tubing is made largely of collagen. And after age 60, the body's ability to produce collagen drops dramatically. Not just a little, not gradually, For some people, it falls by 30% to 50% over a decade. And when that happens, your nerves lose their padding. Signals become erratic. Circulation drops. You start to feel strange, tingly, weak, wobbly. This isn't a disease, it's structural starvation.
Yes, we often say the older the building, the more important its foundation. The nerves do not break suddenly. They deteriorate quietly. And that deterioration often begins not in the brain, but in the feet, in the fingertips, in the legs. These are the farthest from the heart, the most fragile in circulation, and the most dependent on collagen for support. In my practice, I would often meet elders who said, "My mind is sharp, but my feet don't follow. My spirit wants to move, but my legs feel heavy." I do not call this weakness. I call it a disconnect between intent and infrastructure. The will is there, the signals are there, but the physical pathways, the nerve sheaths, the capillaries, the synapses have lost their flexibility, their cushion, their resilience. And the culprit is often not just age. It's a quiet loss of collagen, accelerated by poor diet, inflammation, and stress.
That's such a powerful way to put it, a disconnect between the spirit and the structure. Because I've had patients who exercise, who eat healthy, but still lose muscle tone, struggle with foot tingling, or feel like their knees are unstable. And when we dig deeper, when we test nutrient levels and trace collagen markers, we often find the same pattern: low vitamin C, high oxidative stress, poor connective tissue regeneration. It's not that they're inactive, it's that their ingredients for repair are missing. Collagen isn't just a cosmetic issue, it's a neurological foundation. And after 60, you either rebuild it or slowly watch things fall apart.
In Japan, we see collagen as a symbol of life force. When the skin sags, the voice weakens, the hands tremble, we do not say you are sick. We say your body is asking to be rebuilt. And that rebuilding does not begin with medicine. It begins with nourishment. Because no architect can rebuild a house without bricks. And no body can rebuild its nerves without the amino acids, antioxidants, and cofactors that only real food can provide.
So here's the good news. You don't need injections. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to feel helpless. Because nature has already prepared a prescription in color, in flavor, and in fruit. And in the next part of this episode, we'll share the 8 fruits that help your body naturally rebuild collagen, reduce nerve inflammation, and bring strength back to your hands and legs. Because the healing is not out of reach. It's probably sitting in your fridge, just waiting for you to chew with intention. Let's begin with a classic: oranges. Everyone knows oranges have vitamin C. But what many people forget is that vitamin C is required to build collagen. No vitamin C, no collagen. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at converting what you eat into what you need. So giving it high-quality bioavailable vitamin C every single day is like handing it the blueprint and the tools it needs to rebuild nerve sheaths, blood vessels, and connective tissue. I recommend eating oranges whole, not juiced. That way you get the fiber, which slows the sugar rush, and you chew, which begins the healing process in your mouth.
In Japanese tradition, we give elders small slices of orange in the morning, not for sweetness, but for activation. We say, the orange wakes the blood. And that's not poetic, it's biological. Vitamin C improves capillary function. When the fingers tingle, when the toes feel numb, it's often because the smallest vessels are tired, restricted, inflamed. An orange is not just a fruit, it is a circulation signal. And when eaten with slowness and gratitude, it becomes medicine.
Next up, kiwi. This little green fruit actually has more vitamin C than an orange and also contains vitamin E and potassium, which support nerve health and muscle relaxation. Kiwi is also incredibly anti-inflammatory. It supports collagen synthesis, reduces oxidative stress, and helps with sleep, all of which are crucial for overnight nerve repair. I tell patients one kiwi in the late afternoon is the perfect bridge between lunch and dinner. It satisfies cravings, calms the system, and gives your cells what they need to rebuild. Es bo.
We use kiwi often in Japan's elder care facilities, not just for vitamins, but because it is easy to digest. Many seniors lose digestive strength. They cannot break down large meals. Kiwi gives them nourishment without effort. And in our view, it is not enough to feed the body. We must feed it without stress. The easier the digestion, the better the absorption. Kiwi reminds the nervous system you are safe, you are supported.
Number 3, strawberries. These are packed with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that protect existing collagen from breakdown. They also help reduce inflammation around nerves and improve blood sugar balance. I find that strawberries are especially helpful for patients with prediabetes or metabolic syndrome who are also experiencing nerve symptoms. When you protect your blood sugar, you protect your nerves.
We call strawberries the Red Guard. They do not only give joy, they give defense. In a small bowl, strawberries bring sweetness, but also structure. They remind us that collagen is not only something to build, it is something to protect. I often recommend that elders eat 3 or 4 strawberries mid-morning with a cup of warm tea. It awakens the senses, supports vision, and nourishes small vessels in the brain and limbs.
Let's talk about pineapple, a fruit that does more than sweeten your plate. It contains bromelain, a natural enzyme with powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Why does this matter for collagen and nerves? Because inflammation breaks down collagen, irritates nerves, and damages the blood vessels that nourish your hands and legs. Bromelain helps reverse that process, reducing swelling and allowing tissues to regenerate. But here's the key. Eat it fresh, not canned or sugared. Fresh pineapple has live enzymes. Those are what your nervous system needs most.
In my work with post-surgical recovery patients, we often gave them small cubes of fresh pineapple in the afternoon. It reduced pain, it calmed the stomach, but more importantly, it created an inner cooling. We call it fruit that melts fire. And for elders whose nerves are inflamed, whose legs burn at night, whose hands throb in silence, pineapple is not just sweet, it is soothing.
If there's one fruit I recommend to almost every patient over 60, it's blueberries. They're packed with polyphenols, which protect neurons and blood vessels. They reduce oxidative stress, one of the biggest threats to collagen integrity. They improve memory reflexes and fine motor control. In short, blueberries feed your brain and your hands.
In Japan, we say blue fruit, bright mind. It may sound poetic, but it is science. I have seen elders with early nerve weakness improve simply by adding a handful of blueberries to breakfast. The key is to chew slowly. Let the skin break in the mouth. Let the juice mix with saliva. Because healing begins with attention. Not just swallowing, but meeting the food.
Let's move to cherries, one of the most underrated fruits in nerve recovery. Cherries contain anthocyanins and melatonin. They reduce nerve pain, improve sleep, and support nighttime collagen rebuilding. I often recommend tart cherry juice, unsweetened diluted, for patients with neuropathy. It's one of the few fruits that directly supports both nervous tissue and sleep cycles.
Cherries. In my early years, we served them to elders not as dessert, but as calming fruit. Because at night, nerves speak louder. The silence of the world makes every sensation stronger. Cherries bring hush, not by numbing, but by soothing. And when elders feel safe, their muscles soften, their legs stop trembling, and they sleep, truly sleep.
Next is mango, a tropical powerhouse rich in both vitamin A and vitamin C. Vitamin A supports skin and tissue repair, while vitamin C drives collagen production. Together, they form a duo that strengthens the outer and inner matrix of your nerves. Mango also contains digestive enzymes that help older adults absorb nutrients more efficiently.
We serve mango in small slices. Just 3 or 4 enough to bring delight without overload. I always remind my patients, you do not need quantity. You need quality received with presence. The softness of mango, the gold of its color, the sweetness without sting. It tells the nervous system the world is gentle again. And sometimes that message alone is enough to begin healing.
And finally, lemon. Not a fruit we eat directly, but one we use intentionally. Lemon activates liver detoxification, balances pH, and enhances vitamin C absorption. This makes your body's collagen production more efficient and longer lasting. I tell patients start your morning with warm water and lemon, not coffee. It's a small shift with big returns.
Yes. In Japanese wellness, the morning lemon is a ritual. We say clear water for clear thinking. When the liver rests, the blood is cleaner. When the blood is clean, the tissues are nourished. When the tissues are nourished, the nerves can finally relax and repair. A few drops of lemon is not just cleansing. It is an act of respect to the body's natural cycles.
Now that we've introduced these 8 incredible fruits, the question becomes, how do we turn them into something you actually do every day? Because healing isn't about what you know, it's about what you practice. That's why today we're introducing what we call the Shigeaki Fruit Protocol, a gentle, nourishing rhythm built for seniors who want to support their collagen nerves and energy naturally. It's not a diet, it's not a detox, it's a ritual of care. Let me walk you through it. Morning, wake the body. Start with warm water and a slice of lemon. This activates liver, detox, improves digestion, and prepares your body to absorb nutrients. Then enjoy a fruit-based breakfast. Itspaistius radiues. 1 to 2 cups of blueberries or strawberries, 1 sliced kiwi or a few orange wedges, a small handful of walnuts or chia seeds, optional plain yogurt or kefir for protein. This combination supports collagen production, stabilizes blood sugar, and feeds your nerves from the moment you wake.
Yes. In Japan, we teach elders breakfast is not for energy, it is for clarity. And fruits are the cleanest energy you can offer your cells. But it must be eaten with calm. No screens, no rushing, just chewing, savoring, waking up with dignity. When the fruit is fresh and the mood is soft, even the simplest bite becomes repair.
Midday. Feed the nerves. At lunch, aim to include either pineapple or mango. These fruits are rich in enzymes, vitamins, and calming compounds that support digestion and reduce inflammation. A few slices of fresh mango with grilled chicken, or pineapple cubes with a fiber-rich salad. Always chew slowly and stop eating when you're 80% full.
We have a saying, don't eat until you're full eat, until your body feels supported. Pineapple after lunch can reduce nerve pain. Mango before rest can reduce stress. This midday fruit is not about sweetness. It's about sending a midday signal of safety to your nervous system.
Evening, wind down, and repair. At dinner, go light. Avoid high-sugar fruits late in the day. But this is the perfect time for cherries or a small citrus serving to support nighttime repair. A small bowl of tart cherries after dinner, or warm chamomile tea with a few orange slices. Optional, a soft sweet potato on the side for potassium. Plus, nerve relaxation. Why this matters. Your body builds collagen and repairs nerves while you sleep. What you eat at night either supports that process or gets in the way.
We close the day the same way we begin it, with gratitude, with fruit, with stillness. When you end the evening with nourishing simplicity, your body doesn't fight the night. It flows into it.
The beauty of this protocol is that it's flexible. You don't need to eat all 8 fruits every day. Even 3-4 rotated through the week can make a huge difference. What matters most is consistency, chewing slowly, and pairing with healthy fats or proteins to increase absorption.
And also, respect. Food must not only nourish, it must be honored. When elders eat with fear of sugar, of fruit, of failure, the body tightens. But when they eat with presence, the body receives. And when the body receives, it heals.
So, let's take a breath together. We've talked about tingling hands, about legs that feel uncertain, about nerves that whisper at first then shout. And we've talked about collagen not as a cosmetic fix, but as a foundation for life. We've walked through 8 fruits, simple, colorful, Ordinary to the eye, but extraordinary to the healing body. And here's what I want every listener over 60 to hear. You're not falling apart. You're rebuilding, slowly, quietly, one piece at a time. Because your nervous system isn't gone. It's simply undernourished, and that means it can recover.
Yes, and recovery is not only for the young. It is for the wise, for those who listen, for those who are willing to try again. I have seen hands stop shaking. I have seen legs walk again without fear, not because of surgery, not because of injections, but because of fruit, of rhythm, of care. A slice of orange in the morning, a few cherries at night, a mango shared in quiet. These are not just habits, they are acts of trust between you and your body.
So let today be your beginning, not of a diet, not of a burden, but of a return to connection to nourishment to strength. Eat slowly, chew with attention. Let your food remind you that healing is possible, because when you feed your nerves, you feed your future.
And remember this, you do not have to be perfect. You do not need to do everything at once. But each fruit, each bite is a step towards steadier hands, stronger legs, and a life that feels whole again.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe to the Shigiki podcast, leave us a review, and share this with someone who's been told that's just age. Because age is not a sentence, it's a season, and seasons change.
Until next time, eat with joy, rebuild with love, and walk gently, knowing your body still remembers how to heal.